Welcome to Ask Cadence, everybody. Thank you for downloading and listening. I'm Pete Wright, sitting here at the big round table with John Patton. John,
I'm
again.
in between trips again, you know. So
as always,
since you've talked to me last, I've been to Asia and back.
Oh my goodness! And so again, jet lagged. Well,
yes, sir.
It's good to at least have you here, Connie Plowman. Not jet lagged. Refreshed and wonderful as always. Hi, Connie.
Thank you, Pete. It's always a pleasure.
We have another interesting gorilla-sized project problem, and this is one that just because of the way it was written, we have to make a few assumptions. So I'm going to read what was on the card, and John, I'll ask you to flesh it out for me here.
Okay.
We have a fast-growing team. Responsibilities and delegation are not clear or consistent. How do we streamline communication and ongoing feedback?
All right, Pete. When we hear the key words here, fast-growing team, we have to recognize that this word team is used either for operating team, as our department, which we call a team, or a project team. Now, since project teams tend not to grow fast during the project, we're going to assume that the writer here said that this is a fast-growing department, and it's an operating team. So the duties of the department are growing. We're getting additional people in the department, and a good manager is going to be delegating work. And let's, the first self-conversation that a manager in this type of department should have is, am I delegating a task or am I delegating a project? Now, let's also assume that the manager of that person was not in the seminar where the person asked this question. So now, in order to manage one's boss effectively, the knowledgeable individual contributor, when receiving an assignment from their boss, is, now, boss, let's think a little bit here. Is this an assignment or is it a project? Now, my understanding, the way you've described it to me, is that I'm going to need to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and I'm going to need the help of Joe and Susan and Ping. And it's going to take me about 6-8 weeks to get this done. This is at first blush, of course. Boss, this sounds to me like a project. So you're helping your boss versus a task which says, yeah, this is a quick one. I think I can get it done by next Tuesday. That would be very clearly a task which is being delegated. It's always good, however, for any individual contributor, no matter what's being delegated, to have a discussion of scope if it's a project, or a discussion of what is finished work if it's a task.
Now, I'm going to ask Connie from an operational perspective, how do you turn this around? Say you're the manager, and let's again assume that you haven't been through the seminar. How do you turn this around, and what do you look for to manage your staff effectively, when you're being managed, essentially?
There's a couple of things that I look for, Pete, so thanks for asking the question. One is clarity. We need to be both walking out of the room with a clear understanding of what is just been assigned to me, whether it's been a task or a project. One of the great techniques that I like to use is after that conversation is over, I go back and I put that conversation, a recap, in writing. Here is my understanding of this handoff of this assignment/task that was given to me today. Is this your understanding as well? So that we are on the same level, same playing field from the start, and not to have confusion down the way. That's number one. Number two, we're always also looking at, when is this assignment or task or project over? What is the last thing? What is the handoff that says this is done? Have you ever had a project or an assignment that just keeps going on and on and on? So let's get clarity of what is truly end of end in terms of what is the last task. And that may be sign-off by an individual. It may be some sort of meeting, celebration, approval process, whatever. Let's make sure that we both know what the last task is, and then we track towards that last assignment on that project as well. And then for my role, always communication. I try not to be behind the keyboard too much, because with technology it is so easy to be behind the keyboard so much that I like to be in the halls, walking the rooms, checking out with people, constantly having conversations with them, and making sure that I'm spending time with everyone throughout the day just to do the check-in, the health check, how they're doing, and where I can best help them get their work done.
The questioner asked this point on ongoing feedback. So, what's the expectation of the feedback loop between the staff member and the operational manager and project manager?
I've used a project tool and an operating tool. They're two different things, Pete. If this is a project, is the status report, and come to a decision as to whether that status report is going to be done every other week or monthly. Try to avoid weekly status because that's a lot of writing. I really support Connie's comment on spending too much time at the terminal here. So have a conversation with whoever you delegate the project to on the frequency of status reporting. Now the second, if it's a task list, a very simple things to do list. You could have visibility of even the task list under Outlook. But I also have made it the recipient's responsibility to keep me informed. So just print out the task list on a weekly basis, cross out the things that have been completed, and put down a comment on those that are still open, and even an estimate on when they will be completed. I'm assuming these tasks are assignments you give to a specific person. They're not really projects.
Just before we close here, I mean, because we're talking about some both very tactical, kind of day-to-day operational issues, are there any tools or resources that you guys would recommend that listeners could check out if they wanted to review and learn some more about how to manage their time effectively on projects and tasks?
Well, on our website, Pete, we do have a one-page status report. It's has the format to give you full information on cost, schedule, and performance of the project. It's designed, and we've had feedback, to take about 15 to 20 minutes to fill out, depending on the size of the project. It's taught in class, and people can go to our website and download it.
Fantastic. We'll go ahead and add that in the podcast feed as well. So,
the key thing for me, regardless of what reporting tool you're using, is just to keep it simple, and it shouldn't take much time to report it. And because your time needs to be spent on doing the work and not on the reporting feedback. So I like to use tools and techniques that are simple and to the point.
Now, advice to people who are writing these reports, I always remind people that what I want to hear is what you have done, not how you did it. And that can help keep reports much shorter.
Excellent closing tip. And at that, we will close out this week's Ask Cadence. Thank you both very much. This has been a great discussion. And please download us again next week. This has been Ask Cadence.